What's going on, guys? So today we have a 4th generation iPod Classic, a 20 gigabyte, and the owner wants to upgrade the storage to 128 gigabyte iFlash, and they want to replace the battery. And before we open it, I wanted to verify that everything is working properly. You never know what you're gonna get. Something could get damaged, in transit, or you want to make sure you want to test everything. You don't want to get caught with your pants down, because if you just replace what you're supposed to do and something else is broken on it and the owner doesn't know, that leaves you open for vulnerability. Okay, so the thing powers on. That's good. Let's plug in some headphones and let's see what we got. Yep. Let's go. Let's just do all albums. Let's just do all songs. Okay. Both headphones work. Play pause is good. Next is good. Previous is good. Menu is good. Obviously center is good. Menu and hold switch is good. Okay. Cool. So the iPod is good. This charge port is like a little tight though. But everything seems to be working. So let's get everything swapped out. And I'm going to wear gloves for this one, just because the 4th gen, I hate the 4th gen so much. Which, I don't mean to hate it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I don't work on them that often, and it just seems like they're very finicky. So I don't want to get any of my skin oils on this thing just because it's already just going to be a pain in the butt just because it's a 4th gen. So let's not give it another reason to be a pain in the butt. Okay. Anywho, spudger, and get in between the front and the rear casing. Just find a spot and just start pushing down, getting the clips to release like that. These old 4th gens are extremely easy to open. Actually, I can probably just open it the rest of the way. Nah, I don't want to force it. There we go. Okay, so if you see my videos before, you know exactly what I'm going to say next. You want to resist the temptation to open this thing like a book. But instead, on this 4th generation, you can actually do that. Just make sure you open it the correct way, which is this way. Okay, so before we do anything else with this, we want to disconnect the battery, which will be right here. And to do so, we're just going to pull up on this. This is why I hate these dang things. They're such a pain to get out, and you feel like you're just going to rip the connector off the frickin' motherboard. Come on. Alright. Usually they come out a lot easier than that, so let's see if we can get this latch released. Man, that thing is like in there. Come on. There we go. Good Lord. Man, that was rough. Seriously, thought I was gonna rip that thing off. Okay, so now that that's disconnected, we can remove this hard drive. Let's set this aside. Alrighty. So now we can remove this. Actually, I think I kind of want to remove the headphone jack. And we're just going to lift that up right there. Very carefully. These can kind of come off too. Okay, so we need to pop this battery off. This guy in there, that's a little thin, or a little thick, sorry. Oh, I hate these. It's like they're stuck. I don't want to pry against the casing and break it, but I also don't want to pry against the board and break it. Let's see. I wonder if a couple of minutes on the heat bed of my thermal printer would soften the adhesive, just enough to get it going. So I'm going to throw it on the bed of the heat bed, or the heat bed of the 3D printer real quick, and I will be right back with you. Okay, I only left it on there like a minute or so because I don't want it to mess with the LCD as well. I hate these iPods. There we go. Seems like it kind of did the trick. It's kind of popping out of there pretty easily now. Little pressure. Little pressure. There we go. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off. Where's these scissors? Actually, I think somebody in the comments in one of my previous videos had posted about this little trick, so I didn't have to take these screws out. So let's give that a shot. Look at that. Awesome. Okay, let's get the new battery in. Actually, I'm going to turn off my 3D printer bed, and I just stubbed my toe and it frickin' hurt. My feet are cold too. Damn it. Alright, anyway. Let's get this out. Alright. Okay, let's throw it in. Sticking up here. Come on, get in there. That ain't the way. It's got to go this way. Poor quality, right? Not quality, but just stupid to put the wires out right there when it's gonna. I tell you. All right. Okay. Let's put this drive in. And we can connect everything. And I think I had problems with this last time. You gotta line it up just right. Not break anything in the process. There we go. We are in. This side of the way. Okay, now let's put this headphone jack back on. Like so. Just fit it in like a Lego. It's moving on me. Come on. Come on. It's not home. There we go. Okay, now let's just move this guy over here. Plug it in. Fingers crossed and pray. Like I said, I absolutely... I'm not even going to say nothing about it because I don't want to jinx it. Okay. And that normally happens on these 4th gen ones. You get this bad folder. Hang on. Let me turn this light off. You might be able to see it better. You get this folder. Come on. You get this folder error here. And you just need to plug it into your computer and restore it. So I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll be right back with you. Get in there. You do. She just connected. See you in a sec. Okay, so now we're back again. So this, when you're restoring the 4th generation one, it gives you, after you're halfway through the restore, it needs you to unplug it from the computer, and it needs you to plug it into power. So what I ended up having to do was I forgot that I had restored. There we go. Now it's going to complete the process. So I forgot that I had used this drive on a different one, testing it, and it was paired with that other iPod, and so I couldn't just throw music on it with this one. It needed to be restored using this iPod so it would pair together. So got that all done. Looks like it's just finishing up the restore now. So then I'll just need to plug it back into my computer. And we will throw music on it. We will test. We got just a little bit of battery before the iPod is full, so we'll stick it on the charger and we will test the battery as well. Make sure everything charges up to full. Okay. Let me just put some music on it real quick. All right, we got some music on there now. Let's disconnect. And I'm gonna plug it in and charge it while we're doing this part, just to verify all that's working as it should. Good, we got a charge indicator. We'll make sure that gets all the way up to full. Let's test the headphones, make sure everything else is working again. All right, I put a little Kansas on here. Kansas. Oh yeah. Okay. Yep, play pause is good. Headphones are good. Menu is good. Oops, I kind of wanted to hear dust in the wind. Okay. And let's make sure the hold switch works. And it does, we're good there. Okay, everything is looking good up to this point. So the last thing we need to verify is that this battery fully charges. So I'll see you back here in just a second to verify that and put it back together. All right, it's been on the charger for a bit. Let's see what we got. Okay, full, that's what I like to see. Let's close her up real quick. Get everything locked in there. Pressed in. There we go. There we go. Plug her back in, make sure everything's working. Got the charge icon there. Okay, let's plug in the headphones. Headphones. Got some Kansas. Here I am, my wayward son. Sorry. Play pause is good. Headphones are good. Previous is good. Next is good. Menu is good. And if I can get it to slide, there we go. Hold switch is good. So there we go, guys. We have a 4th generation iPod, battery swapped and upgraded to 128 gigabytes. All right, that'll do it for this one. If you guys like this content, drop a comment down below, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will catch you on the next one.